Hi. Hey, so do you think I should keep this mic up or just chat and text?
Uh, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. So let me see how far I can get this volume.
If not, we can text right through here and chat. So
I'll
if
have
you
the
put,
chat window open on the side. All right.
okay, so let me go ahead and share my screen and I'll show you.
Okay.
I share screen.
Yeah, I've got somebody right here who will come over in a minute.
I share screen. Let me see if I can also see the chat here.
It's not bad. Can you move around a little bit? Just like, can you like turn so I can see how it scrolls?
Yeah, I mean, this is you can see my screen moving.
So it's a little jumpy. So just be aware of that.
Okay.
It like jumps and stops and jumps and stops. So you're not going to get too much live interaction. It's it kind of like jumps from space to space.
Software I use really makes it easy to do voice acting and pretty much anything.
I'm trying to get chat back up here.
Oh, what happened to it?
Oh, when I shared screen, the chat portion of Zoom went away. But if we can talk back and forth, that's fine though. If they can hear.
Okay. So I'll see if anybody's interested.
Okay.
Sally, you're someone who's interested.
It's giving me an error.
Hi.
Hi, Sally.
Hi.
Glad it worked.
Good. So this is the entry point to the game. And do you have any experience with virtual worlds?
Little bit.
Okay. So this is a lot of customization. Now you can anyone can enter the virtual world without having to pay any money per month. So students would have free access to this as long as the teacher has an account. And I pay $15 a month for this account. So it's really pretty inexpensive. And it gives you 24 hours, 7 days a week access to it. There's a lot of open source free resources that you can just have right online that people share. So you don't have to spend a lot of time developing 3D objects. So all of this is all free stuff that I did not have to build. Even with scripting, there is a lot of, and I'm not going to allow the music right now. There's a lot of free scripts available. So you don't even have to know a lot about scripting. So this one, you can collect aliens. You can collect the HUD. I'm wearing the HUD right now. You can click on things and have them appear and interact with you. So you see how chat can pop up. You can have audio files. You can change your avatar appearance with spacesuits and helmets. You can. There's a lot of gaming features.
One of the first ones I wanted to recreate was.
And does the game have a goal or anything?
Well, basically, what I was trying to create is a prototype so instructors could see how they could put in content. Let me just fly real quickly.
See how they could do it?
They could put in educational content that the student could study. And then, so there's a couple goals in this game. You've got a scavenger hunt where you find green aliens and gray aliens. The gray aliens give you more points and award you with special prizes. The green aliens, they'll give you hints and clues. You interact, you explore, you study the material. So there's lots of material in here about the solar system. There's material about the plates over here. So you can use different types of presentations. You can use slideshows and other presentations. Then what you do is you're collecting tokens and points. You then enter the maze. So you're working your way through this space maze up to the roof. You take quizzes along the way. You can buy things with the tokens like helmets. You can actually develop levels so that if you're wearing a certain item, then it will gain you access to other levels. So you have to,
it'll be used in other levels.
yeah. So like say if you find an item and you're wearing it, or if you earn an alien avatar where you become an alien, you could program that in the game so that gets you to the next level. So there's a lot of different options, and this is basically an example layout where it shows different interactions and activities. I have another area for instructor support. So this is like the gameplay area, and then the instructor support area is over here. I'm going the right way.
So the game, the game actually, I guess, is already built, and then you can just add the content to it, sort of like.
So what I'm going to be developing at one point is a downloadable file where an instructor could download a space-themed game, and it would have, whether they wanted trivia or mazes, they could have the game plug in their own curriculum of what they wanted their students to learn and play through the different levels to learn that curriculum. That way, an instructor could easily just plug and play a world that they could download it and upload it to their own, actually their own system. There's something called Dream Worlds where you can have it on a private server or a computer.
Welcome to Multiverse Masters, the moon-based.
Let me get out of this area.
I'll be discussing education resources and
so you never even have to enter online.
Is to touch on best practices.
You could actually just do it in your own server
applications using examples
and not even use an online world.
Yeah, I've made mods for Fallout 4.
So that's the great thing about OR files is you don't have to be online, but if you want to participate and have students from distance, you could do it online, or you could do it with your own computer, playing it right from one computer or playing it from a private server.
Okay. So the teacher is, I guess the interface is, the development interface is easy enough that the teacher can just design the gameplay themselves with the existing engine, I guess, or framework.
Yeah, through the online and even through Dream Worlds, it's really easy just to take things that have already been built and just develop your own little game world. But like I said, a lot of times teachers don't have time. So I'm trying to create open educational resources that will have these little packages put together in different themes. There might be a historical time frame like ancient Rome. There might be one on mermaids or pirates, just to add some fun things. It could be different types of game themes. You can have obstacle courses, you can have races. That way it gives a lot of different options, and then all the teacher would have to do is put in their curriculum and design their own quizzes.
Okay.
And so let me see if I can, yeah, up in this area there's spaceships that you can wear and fly around, and let's see if I can sneak in just by teleporting into one of the quiz areas here. I try to cheat instead of walking through the maze, see if I can get right to the quiz section. Now on have you ever been in a virtual world before?
Yeah.
Have you ever visited Kitely.com? Like, do you use Second Life or do you use Kitely?
I think I've been in Second Life briefly sometimes.
So I use Kitely.com because it's open to family, and you can have youth and children in it. So it's for, like, you can have youth and children and family members. So it's
Right.
not just an adult themed virtual world.
Right.
Oh, it is.
What's it called again? Tiny World?
Kitely, KITELY.com. And this Multiverse Masters is actually open to the public.
It's resisting. So I have here.
I'm trying to get through the maze to see if I can get to a quiz here.
Quickly erased, of course, along with
So you can see you can find things along the way.
RIPs.
And there's ways like this one right here has, let me see if I can, there's a true and false question where gray aliens are rare. You can say it's true or false. So you have these questions throughout and answer correctly, then you're awarded extra points. So this is a mini quiz, one type of quiz that you can play just by clicking on, and what it is, I clicked on the eyeball. So that says, sorry, that answer is incorrect. So you can put these question and answer sessions throughout the game. If they get, like, you can choose if they have to get 80% or 90% correct, then they're awarded prizes or points. And there's different types of ones that you can have. So this is just one example. And I'm kind of walking while I'm taking the test here.
Well, I think in terms of what this does.
And then see, this is it's giving you some prizes, so I accept them.
Critical, I think.
So by taking that little quiz, I got some extra prizes. And you can do like the avatars where you can award them the avatars as prizes, and that gets them to another level. So right now I'm calling an elevator. And I'm going to sit, and then let me go ahead and go up to the 4th level.
Literally,
so it's a really immersive little environment.
Yes.
There's really no way to avoid it.
So do you have any questions about educational content or how you might use this with your students or as a developer?
Oh, I'm not a teacher, but I designed the sort of the conceptual part of this game design. So you could is it? Do you think there's certain content that is easier to implement in the game than others?
Well, I've noticed a lot of people use the virtual world for gaming with, and I choose not to, but there's even scripting out there where you can do hunting games and racing games, where you can have hit points, where you can have life points. I have chosen not to go in that direction. I know that as a developer, a lot of times that's very appealing. So you can actually have your avatar lose life points, or you can hunt animals and have them lose life points. So you can set it up as a competitive games. Again, I choose to have the less competitive games in what I've been developing.
Mm-hmm. But does it, like, I see what you mean. There's more competitive and less competitive games, but is there any particular content that lends itself to the way you?
In the virtual world, more people have used it for simulations. I'm trying to open up the fact that with technology, this has the potential for gaming, for gamification of classrooms, for gaming, but even as technology advances, even virtual reality. At this point with the technology, it doesn't support motion control very well. So the issue with virtual reality and using it in a virtual reality setting is that you are more prone to motion sickness. You can have complete surround views It's just technology as it advances, it's going to open up more and more opportunities within the virtual world.
Okay.
And especially for content creation, this is where not only can developers create content, but you can have students creating their own content too.
Okay.
That's what makes it really exciting. You can really bring down the barriers of distance in classrooms. You can make it public or private. You can really make this as unique to your very specific needs. So any teacher can go in and use all of these options specifically, right down to fine tune it to exactly what they need. People, what I found is people are so attuned to virtual worlds with the stereotype that they're adult playgrounds that they're very afraid of them, that they're very nervous about using this technology because they don't feel it's secure. But with new resources such as Dreamworld, you can download a virtual world player and not allow anyone else access to it except whoever you invite. So it's very secure now. But most instructors and developers don't even know this exists. The other exciting thing is, have you worked with Unity in your development?
With what?
With the Unity programs. You know how you, well, there's a gaming system that a lot of the game developers use, which is Unity.
Right,
And
I
that's,
heard about it, but I just
yeah.
haven't used it before.
So the exciting thing is you could develop a game, play test it, fine tune it, and then convert your whole world into a Unity game that can be played on all the other players.
Okay.
So it has a lot of options as a tool. It's great for experimentation. It's great for meeting places. It's just so versatile that it's very much worth exploring.
Absolutely right.
And it's free, I heard.
Yes, you can go online for free. The only time that you would, if you want to do Dreamworld, you can do it on your computer, absolutely free. You can even set up your own server and run your own Dreamworld for other people to access, absolutely free. I pay through Kitely just because I find it easier without having to set up my own server. But I also use Dreamworld on my own computer when I'm developing and building and I'm not online.
So when you publish it, I guess you got to pay some kind of licensing fee, right?
No, Dreamworld is completely open source. There's no licensing fees. You don't pay anything. It's just you can sign up for an account and explore everyone else's worlds for absolutely free. The only time that you ever pay with open source, with Open Simulator, is if you're paying to use someone else's server. That's the only time you ever pay with Open Simulator.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a free Second Life.
Yeah.
You only pay if you're using their virtual space. If you use your own virtual space, it's absolutely free.
Okay. It's pretty wide open.
Yes. Yeah, it has a lot of potential.
You should probably avoid them, and then also like.
So,
So right now it looks like we're on a moonscape or something.
yes, this is called the moon base.
Is it easy to change the environment?
Yes, it's very easy to change the environment. You can create different ores and upload them. So it's just like changing a file or opening another program. You just like if I wanted to go to kitely.com, let me go to my Kitely. This is my history that shows everyone that is there. I can go to my worlds. This is Multiverse Masters. I can manage it. All I need to do to change it is I can decide if I want it private or if I want people to visit it. Is I just go to, I can export the world, so I can save my world and export it to my computer, or I can replace the world from an OR file that I already have developed at home. So it's as simply as uploading a new world.
You can see here, I didn't know that mods were even, you were able to do mods on that.
So what do you find are the limitations to it right now?
It's you. If you are being a developer, you have to, in order to interact, you have to learn scripting, which is the open source scripting language. And I've been learning that. It's a smaller learning curve than other gaming programs like Unity. So, for instance, let me pull this over here. Because a lot of these scripting scripts are open source content, so you can actually find the scripts, and this is the script right here. So you just put the scripts in the objects and then run them. And these are all scripts I didn't write; they were all open source scripts. So learning to use the Firestorm viewer is one of the biggest learning curves. It takes about a week to learn how to really use the viewer. So, it's within a month, you could be up and running almost like an expert, depending upon how much time you have to play with it. So you see, this is he says random statements. There's also artificial intelligence programs you can buy, so you can have a non-player character actually respond to what you're saying in text. Let me find.
Oh, neat. That's helpful until you build up a user base.
Yep. So you can program what they say, or you can have them reply to you using artificial intelligence software. Pandora Bot is one of the companies that have that information. So she right here is a Pandora Bot, and if you click on her, it says AI chat disabled and enabler.
Artificial intelligence works as far as generating dialogue with a real player, or is it more about actions?
The artificial intelligence responds to text, so it talks back and forth to you using the Pandora program. If you've heard of Alice.
Yes.
So it's basically Alice, the Pandora bot programming, and you can get a subscription for your own Pandora bot and have them converse with you. I'm trying to get her to talk to me now, but you can also do it through scripting as well. And it's really anything that you can script, different effects. And I turned off the sound so you can't hear as much of the sound, just because there's a lot of sound in the background. But there's sound effects as well.
It also gives a very sort of thing.
So objects can give you things like the sonic screwdriver. He just gave me a sonic screwdriver. And you can wear the objects. So
you can't see it very well here. This background here is just flat texture.
I'll try to.
Is there anything you want to ask me?
Yes.
No, I hope I've answered all your questions and kind of giving you what you can do to access this and explore it on your own is just you can go to Kitely.com, which is right here, and you can explore worlds. And you would just type search for Multiverse Masters, and it's an open world.
It's hard to hear. So, what was the?
It's Kitely.com.
Like type TI. That's what I thought you said. I wasn't sure. Okay. So we'll check it out. Thank you, Sally.
All right. And then you just search for Multiverse Masters, and you can come in at your leisure. It's open 24 hours.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Talk to you later.
So what do you do?
So I'm
I'll see if I can get some more people. I don't want to sit down here. That people won't sit down.
I know.
If he comes up, I'll ask him to sit down. You have to start the presentation all over.
That's fine.
It seems like we can only do like one person at a time. It's very loud here.
one character is the main game. This tall. Yeah. Of course, I just wanted to have this so that you don't know what it looks like.
Hi.
Hello?
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
My name
So,
first name's Davis over here.
oh, your first name's Davis. Awesome.
Yeah.
I often switch the names to Davis Saley because Saley's also a last name. So I have an avatar for another virtual world named Davis Saley.
Okay, cool. Anyway. Sorry, you know what? I think I might have headphones. Sorry, it's a little bit loud over here.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's awesome.
So, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
All right, perfect. What am I looking at here?
Well, this is actually a virtual world. Now, I have hosted it on Kitely.com.
Okay.
And the awesome thing about virtual worlds, the current technology of Open Simulator, you can actually download a player and a virtual world onto your home computer. You can create your own server very easily. You can put it on a private school server. So you don't have to have it open to everyone online. But even if you do decide to pay to use someone else's server, you can make it a private world so that you only allow access to those people that you want for your game. So it's a very secure for educators. I found though that educators are afraid to use the virtual world because with Second Life, they always think it's of the adult playground. They always think it's very insecure and unsafe. Virtual worlds have evolved beyond just simulations or just social places. With scripting and open source, there's a lot of gaming opportunities and gamification options. So I've developed this prototype to give some instructors ideas. So as you can see, with open source scripting language, a lot of the scripts I used, I got for free. So I did not have to know how to script. When you learn the scripting language, you can fine tune it to your specific needs, and there's so much you can do with it. So I have an info bot here that you can click on, and that talks to you and gives you random information about the game. You can have non-player characters. So this non-player character, you can call them out and they'll say things like, oh, come on, it's scary in zero gravity. So this is a demonstration. I programmed the movement of what it does. With artificial intelligence, you can use script artificial intelligence where this one just has a mailbox that you can leave information in. But with the scripted artificial intelligence, they respond according to what you type. There's also what's called Alice, which is a huge computer program. You can get an Alice bot from Pandora, and that's also artificial intelligence. Now with this game, there's different gamification options. You can do treasure hunts, scavenger hunts. You can do collection of tokens, obstacles. So this one, you click on the different aliens and you find green and gray aliens. They give you information, and this one teaches you about the game. You collect tokens. As you can see, my tokens are going up, my points are going up as I find these aliens. And you can personalize your avatar. Now, a lot of these, again, are things that I didn't have to build. They were all open source, so I could just collect them and put them into the game. And it's very interactive. So if I wanted to change my outfit, all I need to do is click on my inventory and wear. So if I do, I have the ISO, find it right here, that I could just wear. I won't change my outfit now, but basically I would look like the person that was floating. So I've programmed some obstacles in here as well. So if you happen to run into an obstacle, you can have points taken away. It says, oh, bad luck, you ran into a space object, so it took some of my tokens away. It can even teach different languages. So here's an example of where the rare gray alien, you can select a language so that if you have people in Dutch or English, then you can actually talk to them in that different language. So you have that option as well. And this one gave me an alien avatar that I can use. You can have non-player characters that move around, of course. And that's what you just saw. Let me see if I can get her into view again. And she's, where is she?
No, this is really, really cool. You said you're in the. Yes.
So here's another information bot where you click on it and it tells you. So the Tina is the artificial intelligence. The infobot, she said, yeah, indeed, because responding to the infobot. So if I type in hello into my chat, Tina will say, hi there, how are you? She's actually using an online database through Pandora Bot, which is an evolving artificial intelligence. So it learns the more people interact with it. So those are all options in the virtual world. And you can program different, like you can quickly change the feel of the game just by allowing this. So you can allow that for students to adapt to their own level of sight. And there's Tina right there. She's walking by because I have her as a moving non-player character. But
So you are targeting this at like educators? Or
yeah, this one is targeted towards educators because the virtual world is low cost. It's free, basically. You do not need to spend anything to set up your own educational content and to develop your own virtual worlds or your own games. What I'm hoping to do is create open source educational content with themes. So have one be a space theme, one have a pirate theme, maybe even a Roman theme for historical. The instructors can put in their own educational content and just plug and play their own quizzes. So you can have slideshows in here. This one shows the universe over here is a slideshow of the development of the tectonic plates. You can have pop-up quizzes. You can have quiz boards. You can have fill in the blank answers. When they get them correct, they can be awarded points, tokens, or prizes. If the prizes are wearable objects, you can use those wearable objects to give them access to other levels. There's a lot of interactive ability within this. I have over here a maze that you walk through. In the maze, you come across some quizzes. One of my favorite sections is what I developed. It's a corridor of consequence where you have to get math questions correct in order to open each door. And at the very end of the corridor, after you go through like 20 math questions, there's a prize room. Let me go to the opposite end of that, see if I can, because sometimes I forget where I am in the maze and it's hard to get to the maze to get where I want to go to show you things. Let's jump in the prize room. Where's the prize room?
So what is the name of the, remind me the name of the platform?
So it's Kitely.com is where I'm hosted. And I pay about $15 a month for hosting. Now, if you go to Kitely.com and search for Multiverse Masters, I have it right here. So this is Kitely.com. And if you explore worlds and just type in Multiverse Masters, then it pulls up my world, which is open to the public 24 hours. And you can enter right through the viewer. Now, you'd have to download Firestorm. Have you ever entered virtual worlds before?
I have not.
So there is a Firestorm viewer.
So is Firestorm the name of the?
That's the name of the viewer. So you download the viewer on your computer so that you could access any virtual world. It's just like Second Life, you need a viewer in order to access it. They are currently working on a web based viewer, so like you could enter it through Google. That's something, because it's open source, they have to have volunteers, so they're trying to get that developed. Technology is always changing, so even with virtual reality, this one isn't as good for virtual reality because of the movement of it. It can cause motion sickness with virtual reality, but they're developing more and more scripting options for gamification and games. A lot of worlds are focused on competitive games where you can have life points and hit points, where your avatar can lose life, or you can hunt other objects like animals, and they can lose life. I chose not to go with the competitive action type of games, just out of my personal preference.
So if we were to call the Second Life platform Second Life, what is the analog here? Is it Firestorm?
Yep, Firestorm also, that's how you access Second Life as well. Kitely.com is a more family friendly than Second Life. Second Life is really geared towards adult interaction. Kitely.com is more geared towards, you can go general, and my world is general, so they allow children on their site who are 13 years old and older.
So Firestorm is just like the client application or whatever.
Yeah, it's just an application to allow you to open the virtual world.
But the analog to Second Life here is Kitely.com. Kitely.com. So
Yep.
And so I think that's
It won't let me go into the prize room here. So I was trying to show you the backwards. There we go. So this is, I'm inside the prize room. So see these doors, if I go to the other side of the door and close it, go all the way down here. And I've turned off the sound. There's a lot of sound interaction, like the robots play music, just because it's kind of confusing when you have a lot of sound. So by clicking on this, it closes the door. And you click on this robot and it says, what is 7 plus 10? And it tells you, you have to type in channel 77 and then the answer. And that should work here. 7 plus 10 is 17. Really? Of course, it doesn't want to work right now. Oh, I gotta click on the door first. There we go. I found that this has less of a learning curve than, say, Unity. Do you do game development in Unity?
A little bit. I've played around. I haven't really worked on any projects in Unity, at least not as a developer.
What's exciting about the virtual world and Open Simulator? Not only is it free, but you can experiment, and there is now technology where if you develop a game that you really like in Open Simulator, you can convert it into a Unity file. So you can actually turn this into a playable game on Unity as well. So it's really an excellent tool. It's a great beginner's tool because the learning curve, within a week of learning Firestorm and learning how to move the avatars, and within a month, you can have students in here probably within a month. That's why I'm trying to create files so that instructors and teachers don't feel they have to build everything from scratch. They could actually have a themed world. They could just put their curriculum in and play a game with their students using their curriculum and their quizzes with little scripting knowledge needed.
Cool. Yeah, it sounds well, cool. And last question. Open Simulator, you said?
Yep, it's Open Simulator. It's the free version of Second Life.
Open Simulator is the free version of Second Life.
Yeah, it's basically where everyone creates content that anyone can tinker with. You can recode it. You can do whatever you want with it.
Okay, cool. Cool. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to show me this.
All right. Well, thank you, Davis, and you have a great rest of your day.
You too. Take care. Bye.
Okay, so people are starting to break down. So I think that's basically it. It's going to end in 5 minutes.
Yep.
So I'm gonna log out. Did you have two good talks with people?
Yep. I think so. No, I think that they're interested enough they might explore it on their own, which is what I was hoping for.
Good. Yeah. All right. I'm having trouble hearing still, so.
Well, let's put it this way, Mark. We've got to give some constructive feedback to this gaming conference. They need to get better with technology. It's a gaming conference. They need to allow technology, right?
Tell me about it.
All right. You have a great rest of your day.
The second time too I've had this kind of thing happen, so at least it's working better with Zoom.
Yeah.
The Skype didn't work at all here.
All right. You have a great day then.
Take care.
Bye.
Hopefully that demonstrates